fellow truth seekers. So my name is Carrie. I'm here to dissect the Stephen Avery case with you, discuss key points from the first season, the second season, and possible people who actually might have done it too. So let's get right into it. So now we're going to go on to theories. So I have a theory. Well, I did have a theory. This was my theory initially after watching this documentary, and a lot of people are thinking about this as well. Now, that's because they haven't read all of the case files and they haven't read the appeal motion, because I feel like if you read all that, it's just nuts. So the theory is, could Bobby and Scott have been the killer? So you have a pretty good amount of evidence on Mr. Bobby Dassey. Like, he lied on the stand. He stated that he was asleep during a certain time. Somebody got home or something like that. But according to his records on his computer and on his internet logs, he was awake, searching. So no, it wasn't just logged on. And then he has an unbelievable amount of the sickest stuff you could search for. Like, and we're not just talking about like bondage or whatever. And because, you know, it's like bad, like dead bodies, decapitated bodies, drowning women, car accidents, women in car accidents, dead women in car accidents. These are all search records you can see on the evidence there. It's nuts. It's crazy. There is 2,446 pages of it. That's insane. Like, it's one thing to be curious about death, you know, but it's another thing to couple it with sexuality and then do it in an obsessive manner. It's that simple. It's crazy. It shows a little bit of a mental condition, just a little. Like I said, this is just an opinion. I can't diagnose anyone, but it's up there. So anyway, we have also, I want to bring up something that was really weird. Okay, so you have his alibi. His alibi is he was out hunting. So naturally, he's going to bring home a deer. Now, I don't know Wisconsin law. I don't know if there's a certain season where you can get does and then there's a certain season where you can get bucks, because in Alaska, it used to be like that. I don't know if it's like that there. Why is that important? Well, in the evidence, they have this weird picture, and it stood out to me because it's the only picture with like an atrocious amount of blood on it. I was like, oh my God, what is this? Because they don't show any of like a lot of blood anywhere. Like there's hardly a crime scene. So you've got this picture of Bobby Dassey holding this doe tag, and it's just this deer on the ground, and it's covered in blood. There's a lot of blood. There's a lot. And there's like, it looks like there's teeth or something next to it. It might be intestines, because I mean, if you're gonna get it, if you're gonna kill a deer, you're gonna gut it and you're gonna hang it. I know, my parents used to do it all the time in Alaska, but I'm just saying, for somebody who usually goes hunting, they know you usually gut it in the field and then you bring it home and you hang it. Like, I don't know why he would just lay it on the floor like that. I found that odd. So what I'm saying is, if they already have a warrant to search the house and seize the computer, why wouldn't you swab the floor to make sure all of the blood on the floor was deer? You're gonna take rocks from Stephen Avery's house, but you're not gonna take like there's blood on the ground, like a lot. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Nope, there's a deer there on top of it. Must be deer blood. No other explanation. Nope. Come on, guys. But anyway, so you have that, and then so yeah. A lot of people, though, I would like to point out something about the computer. People are questioning whether or not it could have been somebody else who looked up that search history. Now, that could very well be. I mean, there are people who access other people's computers all the time. But they have the testimony. Catherine Zellner got the testimony of his, it's either his dad or, like, it's Barb's ex-husband who lived there at that time, and he states clearly that Bobby's the only one who has access to it. And then also the state, like, concealed that it was Bobby Dassey's. They put Brendan Dassey, and then they put 7 DVDs or 7 CDs, and I guess that in that time they had to access a certain program, and that program was hard to access. So in the time frame that they had in the case to access that program, it would have made it almost impossible to like look through all of that stuff. What they failed to neglect to put on there was that there was 7 DVDs and 1 CD, and that CD had the entire case analysis of what was on that hard drive. So they could have easily accessed that and had it had they had known that it was pertinent to the Stephen Avery case instead of the Brendan Dassey case, because it was a mismarked piece of evidence. So that's why they threw it in there for a Brady violation, because it's weird. The theory behind Bobby Dassey is that he sees Teresa leave the Avery residence. He gets in the Blazer. He goes and follows her. He stops her on the side of the road after he catches up with her, like he wants to book a shoot with her or something like that. And then he somehow coerces her to go wherever, and he kills her, and then because Scott is his alibi, people assume that perhaps he helped him cover it up. And then there is also a thought out there that Barb is somewhat involved too, because she's married to Scott. She can't testify against him. She wanted to protect her son, so she gave consent for Brendan to talk to police, knowing they might push him over. But that's far-fetched to me. Like, as a mother, I can't see that happening. Like, I can't see myself doing that ever. So I don't think that that's a plausible thing with Barb being involved. Like, she just doesn't seem like she would do it. She didn't know what inconsistent meant. Like, it just doesn't. And because Brendan asked her, and I don't think that she would do that. I think she genuinely cares for her children, and I don't think that she would be involved in that. I think she's just frustrated with the whole thing and just wants to get it over with. I think if anything was involved, I do believe that it would have had to have been Scott and Bobby alone. Maybe now he might have told her something, but I doubt it. So yeah, you have that theory. Now, I don't know if you guys think that happened, or if you guys have an alternative version of how you think Bobby and Scott did it, or if you think Bobby and Scott did it, you can comment below. I'm going to tell you what I think. Okay, guys, so here's my theory. My theory is I want to talk about Ryan Hillegas, okay? He creeped me out after the first one. I always thought that his demeanor was weird when he was being questioned. He seemed very passive. He didn't really seem to care. And you know what? Some men's personality are like, it's like that. Everybody agrees in different ways, and that's fine. But I really found it odd that he just interjected himself right in the middle of everything. He's the forefront man, the go-to guy. I found it really odd. So let's go over some facts. So he and Teresa had a relationship for 5 years, okay? During those 5 years, their relationship got both physically and verbally abusive. So they eventually broke up. He is good friends with her roommate, which he testified on the stand that they were never romantically involved, but they are. And I mean, I don't understand how he could not have known that, considering he consistently goes over there on a regular basis and sees them. It's weird. Like, how could he not know? Also, Teresa has a side job with her Hustle Shots and her auto trader thing. She did nude photos for people. And during that time, she also had an affair with a married man, Mr. Cizik, I think. I'm totally butchering people's names, so I apologize for you people, sorry. But she had an affair with this man, and he actually testified. It's in an affidavit in the evidence. So maybe jealousy. I mean, you've got a man who's still in love with a girl. She's with 2 other guys and won't be with him. So somebody who has a personality who needs to be the dominant role in a relationship, which is very, very, very key to abusers. They have to be the dominant one. They have to have control. This is not an uncommon trait. So you've got that aspect, the jealousy, you know, and the thing that fits that narrative is that he knew her username and password to her cell phone account. Like, I could get if they were still together, maybe like marriage. Like, I know out my husband and mine, but we share an account. Like, how he broke into her account, like he had to have known her security questions or something. Like, they were in high school together, that had to have been it. But that means he had always had access to it. And then he also deleted messages. That is something that is known. Like, the brother had said that he did, I know, because it's on there, but I don't think he did. I think it was him, because there was a call that was made to her cell phone on November 1st, and then he said that her mailbox was full. Okay, and that mailbox can hold up to 20 minutes of messages. So then on November 2nd, her mentor, or like person that she looks up to, Tom Pierce, the old gentleman that's in the show, he leaves a 3-minute and 45-second voicemail on her voicemail box and explains, like, well, we don't know what he says, but he leaves that long of a voicemail. So that means that that someone, most likely Ryan, deleted 3 minutes and 45 seconds worth of voicemails from there. That's reasonable deduction. Somebody did that. Like, it's that simple. The theory behind that is that when the family called and realized that her voicemail was full, they found that unusual. They reported her missing on November 3rd for that reason. Now, had they reported her missing earlier, then perhaps this whole thing wouldn't have, you know, unfolded the way there would have been no way for, or time frame for everything to happen in the way that it did. So, like, and I know for a fact that that's not enough to convict him, but it gets deeper, guys. So you've got the fact that he also lied to the police. He lied to the police about the headlight incident. So the theory behind that is that he moved the car. He hit the headlight out. He put it in the backseat of the car to make it look like, I actually don't know what he wanted to accomplish with that, because once he lied, I mean, that whole story became inconsistent and dumb. So there's that. And then we also have that he has no alibi for the crime whatsoever. The police officers never asked him for an alibi. We also have that he was the head of that investigation, like, not investigation, but search party. He hand wrote all the maps to everyone. Okay, he gave them all the maps. He designated their search areas. He did everything. When it came to the Avery property, he gave the camera and the direct line to the police officer who, 30 minutes after getting on the Avery property, she found Teresa Holbuck's car, took a picture of it, and then and then called the police officer that he gave her a direct line to. Like, the odds of the timing of that in that huge lot are just, it's pretty slim that occurs that quickly, but it did. So one of the things that a lot of people, like, I didn't know a lot of this stuff about Ryan Hillegas when I watched the show, because there's not that much in the show about it, but once you read about it, this is where it gets deep. He accessed the Avery property so many times during the investigation. The one time on November 7th, okay, after the burn barrels were already searched and sifted through, maybe he didn't know that, but they were, he accesses the Avery property under a fake name. He does not sign in, okay? He signs out at 4:36, and nobody knows how long he's been in there. But the following day, magically, the bone fragments are found in the barrel, her cell phone's found in the barrel, and the bone is in the pit. Coincidence? Maybe. I don't know. But I'm just saying, it's worth noting. And then another thing that's odd, and this was not, I just don't understand why you would not evaluate the person who knows her and has been romantically involved with her. Like, I just don't understand this. If you believe somebody has been raped, killed, and mutilated, usually you go with a jealous ex-lover first. At least eliminate them. But maybe because he was in a different county, I don't know. But anyway, so you have his phone records. His phone records are damning. They are damning. Okay, so on October 31st, he has a 2-hour gap between 3:50 and 6:01. Guess when she disappears? Okay, from there you have, I know that 2 hours isn't that much, so it's, it's whatever, but it is when she disappears. And then you have a 17-hour gap from 7:47 p.m. on October 31st to 1:31 p.m. on November 1st. Do you think that's enough time to burn a body and get rid of it? Just saying. So that's pretty hard to explain. That is really hard to explain. So then also, if you notice that there are no other inconsistencies like this in his record at all, except for the following days. So on November 2nd, there's a 6-hour gap between 10:06 a.m. and 4:12 p.m. And then there's another gap between 7:31 p.m. and 8:10 p.m. on November 3rd. So that it's consistent with the time that Steven said he saw the headlights that matched the RAV4, or were closer to the RAV4 than the Blazer in the back of his lot. So I don't know. Did he move the car? Did he knock out the headlight? Did he put it in there? Did he plant the evidence? The only thing I cannot explain is the blood. Like, did it happen? Who took it from the sink if it came from the sink? I think it's more likely that it came from the Grand Am, because they said that they didn't see the blood initially when they found the car, so it doesn't make any sense that, I don't know about that one. So, but it is important to note a couple of things when you're thinking about all of the factors that play into this case, okay, guys? First off, thank you so much for watching this whole thing. I don't know if it was entertaining to you or not. I just like to talk and ramble sometimes, and this is something that really interests me. So, but important things to note are that the scent dogs did alert in that cul-de-sac. They alerted that there was, a burial site there, and it was somewhat dug up, and there was material in there that was consistent with the tarp, but Colburn said it wasn't a burial ground, okay? So you have that, okay? You have that Ryan Hillegas has those gaps in his timeline, and the day that the car is found, he has 21 blocked caller phone calls, and then you have Colburn calling in the tag of Teresa's car. And then on top of that, you have the dogs scenting on the fact that the car was moved. You have it all over the Redont property, and then you have it on Steven's property too. I didn't know that when I first watched the show, And then you also need to take into consideration, guys, and this one you'll only get if you read it or because you're watching this. One of the filings in the Brady violations that Catherine Zellner is filing against is that they never informed the defense about the gas tank levels. They never took her gas tank level when they found the car. They knew when she filled up last, and they could have easily estimated how far she had traveled, but they didn't. Was that because they didn't want to prove that she had left his property? Why did the scent dogs alert off the property if she never left it? Why is there a conversation about her being at that zipper place if she never left it? Why were there human remains found in a completely different area? Why is there so few DNA evidence in this case that works, that matches? It's just insane, okay? They first thought he sexually assaulted her. They he never got charged with that because there's no evidence of it. So guys, just keep an open mind, and leave me a comment here if you'd like to hear my psychological point of view on Brendan Dassey, because it's pretty interesting going through his file. And yeah, if you guys have any comments or anything, I'd be totally down to hear it. Like, I'd love to hear your points of view. Just be kind. I have evaluation apprehension, be nice to me. But yeah, if I missed anything too, go ahead and put it down there. Like, I'm down. I'll add it. I'll do another video and add it or something. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and thanks so much for watching. And yeah, if you want to subscribe below. I think I'm going to start watching crime videos and like posting analysis, because I have a lot of fun researching it, because it's awesome. People deserve to know the truth. All right, have a good day.